Welcome, Indiana explorers! Today we are going to be taking a look into preparations settlers would have made for their journey to their recently purchased Indiana home. The year is 1848 and you're living in Pennsylvania with your family. Over the last few years you've been hearing more and more good things about life in Indiana. There's an abundance of resources to be found like trees and water, and the ground is nice and fertile for growing your crops. They even have a new railroad running between Madison and Indianapolis. You decide it's time for your family to pack their things into your covered wagon and make the move to Indiana. Now normally, settlers would have used large covered wagons to make their journey out to Indiana. However, because we don't just have our own covered wagons lying around at our homes, we're going to have to find other surfaces to hold our belongings. For our journey today, you can use your sofa, a chair, your bathtub, or even your kitchen table. You could even build your own blanket fort for your covered wagon. I'll be using my kitchen table today. So before we start packing our wagons, it's important to remember that we can't take everything with us. There's only so much room in our wagon, so we can only take what's needed to survive or what we won't be able to find on our journey. Alright, so first things first everybody, do you think you have room for yourself in your wagon? Surprisingly no. Unless you were taking care of a baby or you weren't feeling well, you were expected to walk alongside the wagon. This allowed for more items to be put in the wagon, and it meant that you could help fix the wagon on the fly. You better get stretching because you have a lot of walking ahead of you. Alrighty, so let's finally start talking about what we can put in our covered wagons. One of the first sets of goods that our Indiana settlers would have packed in is their linens. A big adventure is no good if you and your family aren't getting adequate sleep, so we need to make sure we pack some blankets and a pillow or two for your journey. We want to make sure you're comfy when you're resting. This would also be a good time to pack a change of clothes for your journey. Moving on from linens, we need to pack some essentials for survival, our food and our water. When it comes to food, make sure you're packing goods that will survive several weeks on the road. If it's going to rot early on, you don't want to pack a lot of it. At the same time, consider the quality of items you're packing. Do you really want to pack all of those sweets? Settlers commonly used a barrel to store their items in a wagon. Look around you. Do you have a bucket or a bowl like mine here to be your barrel? Settlers would have also stored food items like grain and seeds for planting in burlap sacks, so don't forget to bring a few bags with you. You're going to need to be able to grow your own food once you get to Indiana. Lastly, you're going to have to bring a sufficient amount of water with you. Water was a necessity for early settlers. It was used for drinking and cooking, and there was no guarantee that you'd be near a stream on your journey. Settlers would have used a barrel to store their water as well, but for the sake of our journey, tightly sealed water bottles will do just fine. Let's move on to a new set of resources we need to pack before our journey begins. Our tools. When settlers were packing their wagon, they had to consider all the tools they may need when they arrived in Indiana. An axe for cutting down trees and chopping wood, a plow for clearing the land, a shovel for planting seeds, and even a lantern so that they could see at night. Now I'm going to guess that most of you are like me and don't have an axe lying around the house, or your shovel won't fit in your stay-at-home covered wagon right here. So it's time to get creative. Talk to your parent or guardian and put together a toolkit like the one I have right here to store in your covered wagon. And look around for a candle or flashlight to replace that lantern. Alright, don't forget you're going to have to furnish your home when you arrive. Of course, settlers would have been able to bring large items like chairs and even butter churns with them. While that may have worked in life-size wagons, and you're welcome to try with yours, let's focus on smaller home goods that will fit in our wagon and would have been packed by our settler friends. For instance, don't forget to pack some silverware and dishes for eating on. The settlers would have whittled their silverware from wood and used metal plates, but I think whatever you have around your home will do just fine. Likewise, don't forget to pack a couple of pots and pans. Not only will you need them for cooking food in your new home, you'll need them to warm your food and during the journey too. We're nearing the end of our packing process, but before we're done, we have to find a few items that remind us of our family traditions. Building a better life in Indiana didn't mean discarding the past. It meant preserving family history while creating a new future and a new home. Settlers wanted to bring a few items that reminded them why they were making this journey in the first place. Most settlers would have chosen to pack their family heirlooms in a chest. Look around you. Do you have a box or a chest like mine here that you can store your heirlooms in? In their chest, Settlers would have stored several items. For instance, some settlers would have brought their favorite family books to read with them on the journey. Others would have brought handmade items from their grandparents, like a clock or maybe a picture frame or even a mirror. Some even brought the family dulcimer so that they could play music in the wagon at night or for their family in their new Indiana home. Work with your parent or guardian to find a couple heirlooms around your home that you can bring along for your adventure. With that done, it looks like we're done packing our wagon. However, before we get going, we have to consider what animals we would have pulling our wagons for us. Back in the time of Indiana settlers, your two main options would have been horses or oxen. Horses would get you there much faster, but they were also prone to injury on the journey. They'd need a lot of upkeep after pulling such a heavy wagon along a bumpy road. Meanwhile, while oxen would have made for a slower journey, they were also more dependable. They would almost surely have made the entire journey without an issue. Do you have animals at your house that could pull your wagon for you? Last but certainly not least, it's time for us to cover our wagon. The covering for a wagon ensured your items were protected from the weather as well as from prying eyes as you journey through town. Find a cover for your wagon around your home and you're set to go. Thank you for joining me today and good luck on your journey to your new Indiana home.